Son, kids your age think they're invincible. And it holds them back, makes them careless.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Invincible Podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. This is a show where friends sit around and talk all things Invincible, a comic book and animated series by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Ottley. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan. Joining me are my friends Bill.
Hi everyone.
And TJ.
Hey, it's TJ.
So this is going to be a little bit of a different episode of this podcast. We just got done watching the New York Comic Con 2020 Invincible panel where they revealed the trailer for the Invincible Animated Series. So we're going to be giving our fresh reactions to this. We've got some feedback from listeners of the podcast with their thoughts. I do want to put a spoiler warning right up at front here. We do talk about this show. We are going to be talking about the show with full knowledge of the comic and what happens in the comic. If you haven't read Invincible, go check it out. Read at least the first couple trades and then come back and trust me, it'll be worth it. Speaking of worth it, guys, what'd you think of the trailer? Worth the wait?
TJ. Yeah, no, TJ, go first.
Go ahead.
Okay. I thought it was great. I thought it was what I was expecting. I was kind of happy that we didn't see a lot of characters. I was like, we talked beforehand. We were expecting to see like all the main Guardians of the Globe and Rexplode and everybody. We didn't get to see everybody, but I'm kind of okay with that because, I don't want to know everything beforehand. Not only that, but I mean, this is titled as a teaser trailer. We're gonna get more trailers.
You're right.
We're gonna see more people.
I have it running right now, and you're right. It says teaser trailer. I didn't know that it was officially the teaser.
Yeah, so we're going to get more trailers. The one thing that I could say is that I was surprised that we didn't see Adam Eve.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't hear Seth Rogen. I thought they would really pull out like the big gun.
Him too. Him too was a
noticeable voice there.
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Bill, what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, I loved it as a fan because we could pick out, like we're going to in this episode, all the really cool things from the comic and stuff like that. But I was curious to see what someone who doesn't know the comic would think, to see if it would, entice them or make them want to watch something new. And ironically enough, I just got the text response from Sean, my boss, who's into all this kind of stuff, who's never even heard of Invincible.
Okay.
And he just told me his impressions. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, perfect.
Okay,
if we had more time, like we're doing this.
Hey, let's do it.
We're doing this.
Let's do it.
So quick here. I wish I would have, been able to grab, a few reactions like that. So that's great that you have that.
Okay. So he said, I watched the trailer. Looks cool, but not knowing about the actual comic, it really doesn't hook me with that trailer. Obviously, I'll watch it because of your opinion on it, but that's what the trailer did for me. So my exact fear is that it looked like a very generic superhero kind of thing, minus a little bit of blood. So TJ, to your point, it's excellent. It's a teaser. Like once there's an official trailer out, I think they should have gone a little bit more in on the things that make Invincible, the gore, crazy zany characters. I thought would have been a little bit cooler to see other than just Invincible and no one. But I thought, like, again, as a fan, that we've been waiting this long just to see it in motion was super impressive and awesome.
Mm-hmm. But I also think that the things that I would want for them to show in order to entice people to watch it are the things that they can't show because it's spoilers.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what people thought of the comic originally. Like this is exactly what people think in the comics. Oh, it might just be a Superman or Superboy kind of story. It's just this kind of typical superhero thing, but there's something else going on about it. Just like the official Amazon description for the show, like something's off, but they can't quite say. So it seems like much like the comic, this show might have a huge word of mouth kind of thing where it'll just kind of grow.
But that's one thing I liked about the trailer too, and we'll dig into it more. But the fact that they focused a lot on the father and son aspect relationship.
It was all that.
They're building that. Yes.
I mean, it was almost completely narrated by J.K. Simmons as Nolan. We got a couple quick clips of Stephen Yeun talking as Invincible. Otherwise, that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna scrub through the trailer a little bit here, and we're gonna talk about some key points. Again, if you haven't watched Invincible, we're gonna be talking about some potentially spoilery things for what might happen in this show. So you've been warned. All right, so
we're in spoiler territory now, right? We can talk about spoiler stuff.
We are in spoiler territory.
Okay, excellent.
Yep. So trailer starts off Nolan in his white costume, with his white outfit. TJ,
So
you called
awesome.
that this was most likely the flashback, right? I mean, it's obviously the flashback. I mean, this is him retelling to Mark his arrival on Earth, right?
Yep, exactly.
Love it. It looks awesome. One thing now that we're scrubbing through, and as we think of things, what did you guys think of the kind of mix with the little bit of CG in there, animation?
The school looks very CG.
A couple times. There's a couple things throughout.
Yeah. Moving. Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I really hope that it's not.
I think
like too. I hope that it's intuitive. I hope that it's like they look good together. You know.
I think that can be a little bit jarring sometimes, especially when we're seeing it in bits like this. But I think as it's playing out in an hour-long episode or whatever, it's going to be. It's one of those things that your brain just kind of, ignores that because that's just the backgrounds and stuff like that.
You're not picking it apart as we are.
Speaking of the school, though, it's Reginald VelJohnson. Which is great that they actually kept the name. That was one of those things that I thought, they're probably going to have to change that. They can't use his name, right? But no, they're keeping it in there.
Yeah, I think they can. If they can use it in the comic, I think they can use it in the show.
Yeah, I guess.
So speaking of the school, we get the school, and the first thing that we get, even before the title, is Mark getting thrown up against the lockers from this guy. Mm-hmm. This Flash Thompson-looking guy.
Yep.
Who we don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark never got thrown into a locker.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Oh, no, wait. It was the other boy. There was the boy.
It wasn't Mark.
It was
Mark never got bullied at all. At all.
No, I guess you're right. But he was standing up for, what's his name? It was the Steve Urkel. Steve White, I think he called him. I think his name is Steve White. It was a boy that looked exactly like Steve Urkel. Mm-hmm. This bully was picking on him, pushing him up against the locker, and Invincible stood up to him.
Right.
And then that's what got Mark in the principal's office.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So in this case, Mark's getting bullied, which is an interesting take because that's such a Spider-Man.
Or maybe this is after. Maybe this is after he stuck up for him.
Oh, maybe.
Could be.
Interesting. Standing on the roof. Looks great. Getting his powers. I should probably have the audio on too while I'm listening to this because it's some great dialogue.
So I
like Omni-Man saying like a lot of kids your age think that they're invincible, but that makes them reckless.
Yeah.
And the trailer ends by saying, and it holds them back. But you're different. You actually are. Like that's a really cool play on words. I really liked how they did that. So yeah, looking up. The house looks great. Oh my gosh. And so, all right, all the baseball stuff, right?
Dude, when it first showed them back to back, and our reaction video is up on Twitter, right? And it's literally just us watching the thing. But we're watching it as fans, so obviously I'm not screaming or anything like that. But just seeing them in their, like, Nolan in his brown shirt with his white undershirt, like, it did something to me. It made me feel like so nostalgic and like excited that we're seeing like Kirkman said in the panel a little bit that he's like, you're gonna get everything that you wanted out of this. It's very, very close to the comic book.
Yeah.
And this did it, and I felt something in my soul being tugged, and it was awesome.
It's great. I mean, I know people online and stuff like that are saying that they're crying, or I mean, I feel like I welled up a little bit. I feel like I was kind of like, it was definitely that moment. I think that's kind of what you're referring to. It's just that actual realization, like this is happening and it looks great. Like I know this. This is what I know. Yeah. Throwing the ball, seeing the ball fly past the plane, past Chicago, through the mountains.
Kind of irresponsible.
Yeah, a little bit. Could be dangerous. Him flying into the night. Almost getting hit by a plane. And TJ, you were talking shortly after we watched it, like that's all new stuff.
That's all new, yeah. That's not something we see in a
and we talk about that all the time though. We talk about how they can turn something into that's normally just like a page and turn it into like a whole 10-minute scene, you know what I mean?
In terms of
content.
him learning how to fly.
Yeah, he never in the comic he never crash landed and was like, oh god, you know what I mean? Like
It was actually
oh cool.
It was exactly the opposite of that. He was just like,
Right.
oh, here we go. I'm good.
Oh, cool. All right, awesome. You know, so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that's added, but not like taking away from what the comic did.
Yeah. Him saying, I need something to punch. Like,
that got me so excited.
Like, what's he so upset about? You know?
Another thing is like a lot of what we're seeing. I'm assuming that the majority of this trailer is the first episode, and like him learning to fly and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's directed by Robert Kirkman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him saying, I need to find. Did he say, I need to punch? No, he said, I need to find something
Going
to punch.
back,
Go ahead.
He says, I need something to punch.
I don't think he said it in Mark angry voice. I think he said it
There's
in
a
like,
little bit
I'm
under
so
there.
strong. I'm so strong. I need to go fight some bad guys. Like, that's how I took it.
I agree. He wants to test out his powers.
You know what?
Yeah, he just wants to test out his powers.
Want me to try and you want to hear it?
Yeah, I do. Go ahead. Turn that shit up. Eventually. Starting now.
White noise.
Did that work?
No, that we heard.
Not even a little bit.
Not
Damn
even
it.
the smallest amount.
I tried to hold up the headphones to the mic.
Okay.
But no, it sounds a little angry. I mean, that could be later, maybe not. Maybe it's just him getting frustrated and punching something. And we do get a moment here of him. Oh no, that's after that. First, okay, so yeah, creator of The Walking Dead, smart, makes sense.
Yep.
And then there you go, our first little cameo here, Kill Cannon.
Kill Cannon, the first enemy we see in the first trailer for the first animated Invincible
And it's Kill
series.
Cannon.
It's Kill Cannon.
How perfect is that?
Cannon.
The guy
It's
that
fucking
thinks,
awesome.
Oh my
it's
god,
fucking awesome.
He looks great too. His character design looks awesome.
Do you think he's gonna meet Eve in this battle? Do you think like he goes out to find a bad guy instead of finding the Maulers, he finds Kill Cannon, runs into
That
Eve?
would be really cool because
they're
Kill
arch
Cannon
nemesis?
thinks that Eve's his arch nemesis. I would love that. That would be really cool. What was that, TJ?
Oh, nothing.
I want to bring up that, well, I'm noticing here, just so I don't forget later, before the trailer, we kind of each guessed how long we thought it would be. And I know TJ and I both said, TJ said minute to a minute and a half. I said minute 15. So, yeah, around there. I don't remember what you said, Bill.
I said minute and a
30.
half at least, yeah.
Yeah, it's 125.
Oh, okay.
So,
it's 105.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's,
you're right, because then there's the, never mind. Yeah, it's exactly, 105. Yeah. Well, not bad then. All right, Kill Cannon. Mark flying back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Again, Chicago. I keep forgetting the name of that tower, but there it is. Bill called this one punching D.A. Sinclair.
Oh yeah, backhanding. Yeah, I froze it and I was like, this looks a lot like D.A. Sinclair.
Yeah, totally.
It's literally straight from the comic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only difference is that he's wearing a suit.
Right.
He wasn't wearing a suit in the comic?
No.
No,
He
he's wearing a
definitely
lab
was
coat, I
in
believe.
his first appearance. Remember him showing up in the classroom? Like, I could picture him wearing a suit. That's why this just looks so much like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking his jaw.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't remember
our
seeing
first-
this.
Our first, shot of blood,
Yeah.
which might be shocking to people who haven't read the comic.
And scrubbing through here, I don't remember seeing this right after D.A. Sinclair. There's like a split second of him fighting Kill Cannon more, and it's like
So-
it's him punching him and flying like down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this part is the one part that I talked about in the past that I hoped this animated series would do well, and it looks like it is doing it well. Something that we always talk about with like Avatar: The Last Airbender is really good fight choreography that you can tell what's going on. And he grabs the like the cinder block with the bar in it, and
Yeah.
like grabs it as he's
rebar.
flying like in a circle, grabs it and like throws it, and it looks awesome. It looks
Which looks like a scene where he's fighting Kill Cannon, but it actually he throws that at a
Flax on.
Flaxon.
Yep. So we got so right now we've got Kill Cannon, D.A. Sinclair, Flax on. Right after that, we see someone's head getting squished. What do you guys think?
So, TJ, was it you or Ryan that said it's Red Gloves, so it's Nolan? Obviously.
TJ did.
It's got to be Nolan, yeah.
Yeah, and it's obviously Red Rush. So, what's interesting is if you watch this like second by second, it's surprising how much his eyeball actually pops out of his head. Like it keeps coming and coming, and coming. But the scene directly after is a shot of blood painting a wall, and that is in the fucking comic. Like there's a panel of blood spraying on a wall. I think there's many fucking panels of blood spraying on a wall. So I
have a hot take. I have a
is this a segment that we do? Hot takes that I'm not aware
hot
of?
takes with TJ.
This is
hot take TJ. I like
this
that.
is a very out there prediction. Okay, it's out there. My prediction is that each Guardian is going to be killed separately and not all together.
Oh, that's good, TJ.
It's a way to extend the storyline throughout the season.
Like there's someone slowly taking out the Guardians and
slowly
that's
one
cool.
by one. And then the
like
Guardians that way we get more Guardians and we get to know them, and then we get them for longer.
Do you think that takes away the fact that Nolan is just so heartless and powerful that he can take out the Guardians in like one fell swoop? I think
it's
saying.
Yeah, TJ, I like it. I think it's good. I would bet against it though, just because I think that the impact that killing them all has not only on Nolan's character but on the story, because then it's like, all right, we have to recruit. All the Guardians are dead. Who's protecting Earth?
And it's a shock factor. Like, oh fuck, he just killed all of them. Like and I'm sure that's going to be a very, very cool scene. Like,
and that also means that all the Guardian actors, like one or two of them, are going to last several episodes, as opposed to some of them that only last one.
Exactly. And that's why I say that. You're saying that's why you don't, but we already know that we're going to get more Guardians. I would assume we're going to get more Guardians. Like they're pretty big names, pretty big.
They probably have like one line of dialogue. Like,
well, I mean, it could be, but at the same time, when do we think that it's going to be revealed that it is Nolan? When do you think they're going to die? Do you think they're all going to die? Like if they all die together, it's going to be the end of the first episode.
Second episode.
Hold on. Let me finish here. They all die in the end of the first episode. Then we don't find out about Nolan until later in the series. Don't you think people are going to be like, well, it's fucking obviously Nolan?
Yeah, and it was obvious.
That's what I'd be afraid of, that it would be too obvious.
But if they went the other way and they killed people one after another, then Nolan can act concerned. Debbie and Mark can act concerned for Nolan, saying you need to take precaution. He could be the one investigating it. It just adds to the fact, like, it's not me. It's going to throw watchers off of Nolan's scent.
Yeah.
Just, again, it's an out there prediction. But the more I talk
and
about
that's the thing.
I convince myself I'm right.
And that's the thing, because I do like it. And I know it wouldn't be beyond Kirkman to do that kind of stuff, to keep us on our toes, to keep, true to the comic, but also make it fresh and new and interesting. Like, we can go into this first episode, second episode, whatever, and not know where it's going to go. But we believe that it'll still go in the right direction. I can't say right direction, but I don't know, TJ. I like it, but I mean, we'll see.
Let's see. Eventually, sometime in 2021.
Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. All right. Crushing his head. I like Nolan standing there with the ball steaming.
Oh, I noticed that too after I stopped it. I saw that it was steaming, which is a really, really cool touch.
Mm-hmm. Invincible flying through the city as it's being, like, there's explosions going on.
Obviously, it's got to be the Flaxon
takeover, which is cool. It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's happening in the city, which is neat.
Right.
And then, Bill, you called this one. There's a split second of Mark flying out of the underground.
It looks like he's in a tunnel of an Earth-made tunnel, and the lava is chasing after him. And the only thing that makes any sense would obviously be Doc Seismic.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yep.
TJ, you agree too?
Yes, I do.
An early villain. Again, we're up to like 4 or 5 villains now. We've heard, somewhat of a leak that Titan is in this as well. So we're not, short on enemies here.
Well, we know now that Titan is in it. I mean, even Kirkman said, "Do you want me to tell you who Titan is?"
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I
you're right.
can't do
There
that.
you go.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's definitely in it.
Mark
get a
just
shot
kind
of-
of raging. Go on, TJ.
And we get a shot of 3 Flaxons and Mark charging after the Flaxons.
Yep.
And him flying and wipe and the Invincible logo. I'm glad they stuck with the original logo.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
me
Amazon
too.
original Invincible.
Right.
Oh my god! And then the end. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this little stinger at the end here. This was so cool. Seeing Amanda.
And that's what I mean. Like, for us, that's fucking awesome.
That's
like,
the thing. This teaser felt like it was more for
did.
us to kind of you know, and to get the word out there for people. And then the full trailer is probably going to be like too much for us and the right amount for everybody else.
Right.
So watching Monster Girl transform, the camera angles, how it's going around her and kind of
looked awesome,
like an Avengers type thing. That moment is definitely the first time we're going to see her transform in the show, because like they make it, you can see by the angles they're making a big deal about it
during the tryouts. Yeah.
And it's going to be. It looks like her back is turned. I think it looks like she's transforming and like turning back around her to Rexplode.
Yeah,
So
she's
then
getting
punch
hit.
Rexplode, yep.
Yeah.
What's all around her before she transforms, TJ?
Is there something around her?
Yeah.
Air?
Sparkles?
Smoke. There's probably an explosion.
Like she got hit?
Yes.
Like she got hit?
No, I think there was an explosion from Rexplode.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
She's
what you mean.
pissed off,
Okay, yeah,
and then she transforms.
Yeah.
I really like how they did her transformation. Like how it wasn't just her skin bulging out, you know what I mean? Because in the comics, whenever she transforms, there's little diamonds and like little like dust
because it's
and
like
stuff
magic.
around her. Because it's like a magical transformation, and this looked fucking so cool, dude. Her arm going and this and like the mist around it and shit. I like. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oliver's
Awesome.
freaking out right now. If you can hear him.
I actually can't hear him.
No, he's like flipping.
I can't hear him either.
Oh, Katie. Walter's barking in the other room, but I think it's all right. Katie's in there with him.
There's Oliver.
All right, new series. 2021.
So when does stuff normally come out in the new? Does anything ever come out in January?
So, I feel like I mean, yes, of course I want it as soon as possible. This was not a shock to me though.
Me neither.
I think ever since like, you know, COVID and it seemed like things had been kind of being pushed back, you know, with the Free Comic Book Day issue and you know, cast announcements and everything kind of being a little bit slower leading up to the fall. Obviously it wasn't going to be coming out in the fall. 2020 started to look less likely. So since then I've been kind of thinking February would be a good time, you know, so I don't know. TJ?
So my original prediction was that we would get at least the first episode in 2020. The fact that they didn't even say like you guys were saying, well, maybe they'll say like fall or spring or.
I thought soon. I thought they'd only say soon.
I'm thinking April. It's going to be a long time.
Out of your damn mind.
I think it's going to be a long.
You are literally. We're just.
That's
in
2 months.
Q4.
That's 2 months later than what I'm saying. That's not that far.
That's
I
guys.
think it's going to be a very long time.
They're not going to show a teaser trailer and then not show something until November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months away, half a year.
I'm
Bill,
thinking teaser, and like our friend Matt actually asked me right away. He came down to talk about it. He said, "When do you think we'll see more? Whether it be info or news or anything. What's the next thing we get?"
We'll see a full-length trailer probably a month before the release. We won't get anything before that.
Agreed. Which is why I think the next trailer will be January-ish.
January.
It'd be cool if it, you know, maybe Invincible Day of the first issue. You know, early January. Maybe at the earliest mid-December. You know, something cool for the holidays. But
I have a feeling we're probably going to get it in January, and I think we'll probably see a trailer in December.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
I feel like if it was January, it would have said January.
No, I don't think so.
They got to play their cards close though, because they don't know what could happen. You know
exactly,
what I mean?
and that's
the world
why
is so crazy. Right now.
Exactly, Bill. That's 100% why, and I think that's why we didn't see a release date on WandaVision. We just saw a full trailer for that, and that's supposed to be in 2020. And
I literally go back and forth on this though. Like I told Ryan last week that I don't see it going past January 31st. Like it's not going to be February or later. But the fact that it just said 2021, it makes me think that it got pushed further than we think it got pushed.
I don't know. I think 6 months is pretty far.
That's pretty far.
I think January 2020 just sounds good. So if it was January, they would have put it. February 2020, I just don't think sounds good, or March or April.
But like Bill's saying, even if it is going to be January 2020, and they're confident they're going to hit January 2021. Why? 21. I'm sorry, 2021. 2020. Why say it? Why say it now? Why not wait? There's nothing to lose by not saying anything.
But there's everything to lose if you say it's getting released now and now it's getting pushed back.
Well, you can say that about anything.
Yeah, but they don't want to lose credibility. All they want to do is get people hyped for this new show and let them know that it's coming. And then I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go trailer right around Christmas time. And then we get the show late January, probably.
Yeah. I mean, we're all within a 4-month window there. We're saying
I'm not really
first
saying
quarter.
Like I'm not like hard committing to April, but I'm just saying I think that it's later than what we think it is going to be.
Interesting. All right.
I'll say this: it's not going to be January. And last week I thought for sure it was, but the fact that it's just 2021 makes me think it's not January. I'll just say that. That's what I'm hard committing to.
Yeah. All right. I did like seeing like a new series by Amazon, and Kirkman, even when he was talking with Hector Navarro on the panel, saying things like, "Yeah, see, the first season is the," and I don't want to like obviously put words, attribute meaning to words, but like it's cool hearing just it being called the first season. I'm sure there's not work done on second seasons or anything like that, but just knowing that like they're probably looking at this from a larger scale, like, hey, let's map this out, which is really exciting to know.
Speaking of the panel, so a lot of people just watched it on like YouTube or whatever. So if you didn't watch the panel, Kirkman did release a little bit of information.
He did.
And it's who the voice of Battle Beast is.
Dude.
Michael Dorn of Star Trek fame.
And you're probably the biggest Star Trek fan of the three of us. I knew I know Worf. I'm familiar with the character and everything like that, but I don't know it nearly as well as you do. And you sent me a clip of which movie was it?
First Contact,
and him like talking down to Picard like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a very intense scene, and I mean you could watch any episode of Next Generation and just listen to him talk or yell, and it's holy fuck, it's Battle Beast. But this one particular scene, he looks at Picard and he's like gritting his teeth, and he's like, "If you were any other man, I'd kill you where you stand." And like it is
Battle
Beast.
Beast.
So fucking, it's like the perfect match for him.
Am I wrong? Hasn't Kirkman said in panels before that he's kind of taken, like when talking about Battle Beast, that was the kind of one of the inspirations for him was the Worf character and
I
just
think
that kind of warrior.
Like when he was writing him or something like that, he thought like who's someone that just loves war and stuff like that. So something similar to that probably.
Dude, it's perfect. It's a perfect casting. I mean, there's so many people. I can't wait to hear Zachary Quinto. I was really excited at the potential to hear him today. So that's a little disappointing. But again, obviously, and I really want to see what Jason Mantzoukas sounds like as Rex. Seth Rogen, but like Michael Dorn, man, that's going to sound really cool.
Do you think it would have been overwhelming if they would have put in like all these other characters just really quick? Like,
yeah, probably for a teaser.
Yeah.
Well, for a teaser, yes, but it was only a minute long, so I think that's what made it perfect is the fact that it was a teaser. But the next trailer we get, it's going to be him like talking to all the Guardians or the teen team.
Like Eve's going to be saying something to him. We'll hear more conversations between characters next time. This was very much a story thing. Like, hey, here's a character, here's a father and a son. You have superpowers. You're not going to be reckless because you're invincible. Like. That's it. That's like just the nut of this. It was great. It's been really, really fun these last like couple hours, just like watching it on repeat and just grinning at all the comments and people like raving about it. Like there's a lot out there. So speaking of, let's go through a couple of them. Over on Twitter, Sunbreaker says, "Hey guys, so we finally got the trailer and oh my god, I don't think I could be happier. I just felt so much joy and excitement from seeing the comic panels I've read so many times come to life. Like I said, I loved it, but sadly we'll have to wait till 2021 to watch it. That sucks, but for now, I'm glad we have a trailer and I'm going to watch like a billion more times." Yeah, seeing those panels, like the backhand of D.A. Sinclair, like you were talking about the Red Rush, moments of the blood splatter and everything like that, like them back to back throwing the baseball, seeing those panels come to life is just really, really cool. I've got one from Ian Sasquatch. He says, "Here's my question for you. At what point did you cry during the trailer, and at what point do you believe you will stop being emotional?" LOL, in all seriousness, which of you found out about the trailer's release first? Today. I mean,
trailer's release?
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Yesterday or 2 days ago, the official Invincible Twitter account replied to someone with like a Steven Yeun smirk when they said, "Hey, is there going to be a trailer?" So I think that was the moment where it's like, oh my gosh, it's actually going to happen. It's actually going to happen. So we did what we could to try and like put a little video together, make sure we were going to record our reactions and stuff like that.
I mean, as we're recording this it did release today. We literally just watched it like an hour ago. But with it being today, earlier today, like maybe 2 hours before it came out, we were hearing rumblings that it got leaked online, but we avoided it. We didn't watch it because we wanted to, kind of watch it together as the Invincible podcast. We've been reading this since forever. So, I mean, there was that too. So at that point, we knew there was going to be a trailer as well.
If you could imagine how much restraint that took to know that it was potentially out there.
I'm proud of you, Bill.
It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do ever.
You were definitely the one out of the three of us that, like me and Ryan, were most concerned.
I was concerned about myself too, for sure.
I kept texting you like, just don't. Even Ryan was like, "Bill, don't you dare.
Don't you dare. Don't you do this."
Yep.
But it was difficult not to just watch it. It being right there. I mean, even if it was, not even confident it was there, because I heard it got taken down too. So.
Oh, it got taken down. So even if after you've got over that like initial hump, Bill, if you tried to find it, apparently it was taken down. So if that makes you feel a little bit better.
Finally realize it. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and then
that's what would happen.
Fuck.
All right, so here's one from Mike Barrett, friend of the show, who's actually been on the show, longtime fan. For the podcast, "Hey gang, long time no chat. Hope all is well. My initial thoughts. Reminds me so much of the 1991 X-Men animated series. Simple but perfect. What did you guys think of Mark and Nolan's voices in the trailer? Love, Mike." I mean, it was mostly Nolan. He sounded perfect. I mean, Go ahead.
So, like, I feel like those two voices were not the ones that we were, like, concerned about at all. And I mean, it ended up being exactly what I thought. I'm more anticipating hearing Alan the Alien and Rexplode as Seth Rogen and Jason Mantzoukas. Those are the two that, like, for me...
Even Gillian Jacobs, like...
Yeah, him too.
Yeah.
And like you said, Zachary Quinto, we know that's going to be perfect, but I just want to hear it. I want to hear that shit.
I know. So yeah, I mean, the couple sentences randomly that Steven Yeun said sounded great. It sounded great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, I just listened to that one moment where he says, "I want to find something to punch," or "I need to find something to punch," and that just, it sounds good, man. It sounds good.
What you have to understand too, because honestly, I'll be honest with you. At first, when I listened to Mark, I was like, okay, like, it sounds like Lil Kato to me. You know what I mean? Like from Final Space. When he's falling, he's like, oh God, and then hits the ground. But this is like 17-year-old, 18-year-old Mark, and throughout the comic, we get to see him grow up and mature. So I hope that his voice maybe matures a little bit and isn't so cracky. Not cracky, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what a full fucking conversation looks like with Mark, as opposed to like literal like half of a sentence. So
yeah,
and J.K. Simmons could literally narrate my life and I would be okay with it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah
All
right, one of you guys want to read an email?
Sure. I got two here that I'm going to read because my phone's going to die. So I have one from Jordan. Hey guys, I truly don't have a whole lot to say, but I am so happy we got something on screen for the show almost 4 years later. Love seeing the shockwaves when seeing people fly around and you can literally feel the punches and hits being thrown. I'm very excited to see how much of a difference it'll be if I noticed. And I noticed right off the bat that Nolan coined the word invincible rather than Mark's principle. Very, very, very excited for this, and all Invincible fans around the globe love Jordan.
That is an interesting thing I did not pick up on.
Nolan never said invincible. It was his principal being like, "What do you think you are, invincible?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I kind of am in that small."
I do like Nolan though. That adds another layer of depth to that name.
That's a great example of what to change in a comic, and like you're making it like your father, who you have this relationship with, who we know all about, and I don't know if we're gonna retract spoilers or what, but he's the one who kind of gave him the idea of the name.
So
I think it's great.
When I first watched the trailer, just the beginning portion until I got to the end, obviously, but just the beginning portion when he was like, some people call themselves invincible, and it holds them back, and it's like kind of to their detriment. When he said that and then cut off, I thought like, oh, they're gonna reveal. This is outlandish, but it's just my thought process while I was watching it. They're gonna reveal, everything about Nolan. He's going to find out about his dad, and then he's going to take up the name Invincible, despite what his dad said about the name Invincible. But then it went on, and he was like, "But you're different. You are Invincible." Then I realized, oh shit, like that's why.
Yeah.
He felt self-invincible.
Yeah.
All right, so
like
I have
that
one more here from Dante.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hello, Invincible podcast. Even with the high expectations I have for the Invincible animated series, the trailer they released makes it seem like they will be easily surpassed. It truly made me believe this could be a groundbreaking animated series. The only downside is apparently it got pushed back to 2021. I assume because COVID halted Amazon's other productions and they need to draw out their content a little differently. The one question I have is the scene where Invincible slaps D.A. Sinclair is in the trailer. Huh?
No, I was saying yeah.
Is in the trailer. Now you made me. But does not happen until issue 36. Does this mean the first season will adapt at least the first 36 issues, or do you think they may change the order in which certain events and arcs play out? Thanks for reading, Dante." I have the first comment. I would like to think that they're going to put a lot into the first season because I feel like they don't know how long they're going to get to tell the story. So they're going to try to put a lot into it. So I think that
you're right. D.A. Sinclair, that involves Cecil. That involves him going to college.
Does it? Oh yeah, because
that's where the Reanimator. That's where D.A. Sinclair is.
Yeah.
So that skips high school, but we see high school in the beginning. Maybe D.A. Sinclair's a high school student.
Why would he be wearing a suit though? He would be in the Pentagon. He would be in the Pentagon, dude.
Kirkman did say that he was going to be pulling a lot of characters there, that they were going to be pulling a lot of characters into the story earlier to get them into the first season.
Which means that, yes, they're going to... I don't think they're going to change who D.A. Sinclair is and turn him into a high school student. I literally think they're going to just... Like, he's going to be a high school student for nothing. For 2 episodes, you know what I mean?
Like episode 1 is graduation?
Yeah, like something along those lines.
No,
it really is. Like,
no, he is straight up D.A. Sinclair, because otherwise, why the fuck would Invincible punch him in the face?
No. We're saying.
No, I'm saying not like make him a high school student. Like, you know what I mean?
We're saying that Mark's not going to be in high school for long.
Right. I'm not saying that they're pulling the character and just adding him to high school. I'm saying that actually is going to happen when it happened in the comics. It's just going to happen sooner.
Yeah. All right, TJ, what else you got?
We got one from our friend Wyatt Layne, who said, "I loved the trailer. The voices sound perfect. The action looks great. Obviously, I would have loved it if the trailer were a bit longer, and I would have loved an earlier release date. But just like the comic, if my only complaints are I want more sooner, then I'm a happy camper."
Yeah.
Excited to hear your scene-by-scene breakdown of the trailer, and I was also interested to hear Kirkman mention that they'd be spicing things up to keep even us fans guessing. I'm curious to hear what you think of those. What you think those changes might be. Keep up the great work. Love, Wyatt. Which is kind of what we're talking about. There's going to be changes. There's going to be characters pulled up earlier. Him learning to fly. Like, we know that there's going to be a lot more. And that, honestly, like, we don't want. So here's the thing. I want it to be different, but I want it to be good. And I think that's something that I've always said about The Walking Dead. I'm cool with you changing it up. Just make it good. And I have every confidence that it's going to be great.
I mean, here's the thing that I think that is going to be expounded on is like when they're playing catch around the world back to back. That in the comic book, it's literally just them throwing a ball and playing catch and talking a little bit. But this one was almost like him training Mark, like, do you hear it? And then he could hear it. So it almost like makes you think more about Mark's powers, like that he has super hearing, and like how much do they really go into that, aspect. I think it's going to be stuff like that. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like, Eve is going to dye her hair brown for some reason,
Yeah, I think every conversation, every scene, the amount of time it takes to animate, to voice, everything's going to have a lot more weight behind it. Not saying that, writing and drawing a panel in a comic doesn't have weight, but like, I think that they're really going to take advantage of the time they have. Like you're saying, like, instead of just them talking and throwing a ball around, he's giving him a lesson on his powers and everything. I really like that. That's great.
Right.
We have another email from our friend Mike. Here's my hot take, both good and bad, on the trailer. Here's the good. It looks freaking amazing. The animation is perfect. I love the voice acting, and it showed just enough blood for us to know it's going to be true to form. I loved how the teaser put the focus on the father-son relationship. I'm also happy that they didn't show everyone, like Adam Eve, Rexplode, Robot, etc. Hopefully they are saving these for another reveal. Here's the bad. I'm worried that they didn't show enough to bring in non-Invincible fans.
Yeah.
We all know that the Nolan reveal is what finally hooked many of us, but not showing anything about this plot line in the trailer worries me. Will the casual viewers or comic book fans just pass this by normal superhero story? I hope not, but maybe they will show more in future reveals. As a fan, I couldn't be more excited or pleased, and I'm looking forward to you guys doing 8 podcasts on the episodes. Mike.
I agree, and that's what we talked about, man. Like, this show is going to have a very difficult time advertising, I think. You don't want to give away too much. And like we said before, I think it's going to be a lot of word of mouth, and hopefully, like, the fans of it champion it and really get it out there, and the buzz gets going, and that's what kind of builds. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be Bill's dog is
Jesus, like 95-pound German Shepherd trying to.
Yeah, you can hear him go.
Yeah, he was trying to hand me a ball, and I was like nodding no, like trying to get him to stay away from me.
Koba, no, I can't.
So I'm saying the next trailer is going to be. It's going to start out with Invincible meeting the teen team, Rexplode, like Adam Eve, Robot, and all them. But then once the trailer like really kicks in, it's going to go into a deeper story of like someone killed all the Guardians, or someone is killing the Guardians, if I'm right about my theory. And then it's going to be like, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to like investigate this? It's going to go into that. And I think that that's how we're going to meet more people. That's how you guys advertise it more.
Are you guys a little hesitant to watch the next trailer?
No.
Part of me, I mean, yeah, of course I'm excited. Of course I want it. I would definitely watch it right this second. But part of me is also like, I don't know. It's like seeing too much. It's like when the new Marvel movie starts showing TV spots out in like Japan, and it's like, stop! You're showing way too much. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, we know everything. You know what I mean? Like we literally know everything, and all we're looking for are the scenes to be animated, so we can be like, oh fuck, I know that. So if it like leaked online right now, just the last episode, I'd watch that shit. I'd watch it right. I would quit the podcast and watch it right now.
I don't think I'd watch the last episode right now if it was given to me. Out of context? No way.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more here. This is from Riley. He says, "Yo, guys, it's been a while since I've written in, but after today, how could I not? Holy shit, I'm so hyped, I don't know where to begin. Seeing Mark and Nolan playing catch on my TV brought tears to my eyes. I love the clever line that they threw in the impact at the top of the mountain to make it look like Mark was being a little reckless when he threw the ball back to Nolan. But we all know what that was." I thought about that.
That wasn't the ball?
I thought about that. And Riley, if you're right, that's pretty cool.
What is it?
It's them fighting.
Yeah.
And slamming into the side of the mountain. That's that's sneaky. I don't know.
I froze it at that scene to see, but all you see is a motion blur and the mountain coming apart, like up at the top. Like
but
you can't see anything else.
Don't you actually see the baseball fly past?
No. Not in that one.
Hold on, fly past the plane.
You do, but not the mountain.
That's a different scene.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, if it shows it fly past a plane, don't you think it would show more?
No, dude, it's just it's the same thing as like the edit.
I just like freeze framed it. It just literally shows like a corner of the mountain just like explode. You don't see anything fly by, nothing. It's just pop.
Right. No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, if it shows, you think that, okay, just talking about the baseball, do you think that he's going to throw it and it's going to show the baseball just barely miss a plane and then that be the end of it?
No, I think we're going to see like 5 different locations that weren't even in the trailer. Right. But it's possible that this one, I mean, it's a cool theory. I don't know. We'll see.
It is a cool theory.
I like it.
And I think it could definitely be the case.
I still can't believe we got to see that in the first trailer, as well as Nolan in his Viltrum uniform, the Flaxons, Monster Girl, Nolan crushing Red Rush's head, and surprisingly, Kilcannon and D.A. Sinclair. I hope Kilcannon is one of those characters that is getting some extra attention in the series since he's Eve's arch-enemy. Also, speaking of Sinclair, a while back I mentioned to you guys on Twitter that I thought they could replace the school teacher turning students into bombs story with D.A. Sinclair being a teacher and turning kids into Reanimen. I'd love to hear what you guys think of that idea on Mike, and do you think that there's potential of that happening for the animated series?
That would match the timeline.
Interesting. And he's wearing the suit, turning other students, and those two storylines could mesh. I could see that.
You could, because I'm sorry, but I hated the whole students being turned into bombs thing. I thought it was irrelevant. Like, it didn't add anything. Yeah. So if they were to take that out and then put something of value in, like D.A. Sinclair, and that's because what was his motivation before? Like, he was just like a college kid.
D.A. Sinclair? Yeah. He was just experimenting.
Yeah, so I think that this would have...
That's a great theory. That's a great theory. It's a bit of a bummer that we have to wait until 2021 now, and I was really hoping this crappy year would be capped off with some animated series. But hey, I guess 2020 keeps on giving. Anyway, I can't wait to hear you guys' reaction to the trailer and hear what everyone else writes in. What a historic day for Invincible fandom. Take care, be safe, love. Riley from Australia. I don't think I knew Riley was from Australia. That's awesome, man.
Oh, shit. Nope.
No,
that's not good.
Oh, dingo. Man. Yeah, those are some great theories too. He picked up on the Red Rush. He picked up on some really great moments there. So yeah,
that's what we got for trailer talk?
Is that it? Did we do it?
I don't think we could take apart another second of that trailer.
All right, let's move on then. We've got it's weird that this is such a short episode, because for years now we've been doing the second half of the episode being a rereader, and we wrapped that up last episode. So we're going to go on to what normally our final segment would be, which is just a little bit of a free talk between the three of us on what movies or TV shows you've been watching, comic books, video games, anything like that. Anything you guys want to bring to the table?
I have not even thought about. I don't even know.
I know, dude. I had to take a moment before we start recording, and I'm like, what else is there?
I've been playing Star Wars Squadrons in VR.
Oh, how is it?
A lot of fun.
Is it? I've heard it's very complicated, but in a good way. Like, I was actually talking to Wyatt Layne about it, and it's like, all right, you got to move all of your power from this to this, and then transfer things over here so you can, put all your shields up here, but then you got to do this so you can fly faster, and
it's. I mean, that makes it sound like it's like really convoluted, but it is more complicated than just like you're in a plane and you have to move your reticle to shoot this thing. You know what I mean? It's like the best thing that I can explain is you have to move your power to divert your power to your engines, right? And then boost throttle all the way up to build up a boost. And then you can hit your boost. While you're boosting, you can cut your engines, turn really fast and drift like Poe did in The Last Jedi, like drift around and then throttle back up and then start again. So you can literally like go around somebody and then throttle up and then start chasing them then when they're behind you. So that's like, you know.
You actually got a flight stick for this.
I did. I spent $80.
Has it been worth it? Is that
It's
like
so,
the way to play?
It feels like it's what I want. Like I couldn't even imagine just playing with a controller and looking at my TV. Honest to God, looking around the cockpit, like trailing a TIE fighter that's like over my left shoulder and pulling my joystick back to like try to get it like in my reticle feels perfect. It's awesome.
Cool. I'm excited to try it out. I've been so busy at work. I haven't played too many video games. I played some more Avengers. Been enjoying that. Hoping for some updates soon to that. They've teased some updates, and we should be seeing those pretty soon. Otherwise, a good amount of comics. I got Firepower issue 4, but I haven't got a chance to read it yet.
I haven't read it yet.
Real busy. TJ, did you get a chance to read it yet?
Nope, I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Same with Walking Dead Deluxe. That came out. Got it right in front of me right here.
I actually read it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was just like,
cool.
I was in my car, and it was there, and I was like, oh, you know what? Because I didn't take it in the house yet, and I was like, shit. And I read it.
What'd you think?
I mean, it's the colors look great. Like I think,
Yeah.
I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very cool to see it all, in color.
Cool.
Yeah.
I speaking of comics though, the Skybound did another vault sale, and I got the 9.8 Chromium edition for Invincible. Super excited about having that. Batman 3 Jokers remains to be pretty cool. I've been digging that.
Bill, you should definitely read that. It's amazing.
I have it, and I read up until the reveal where all three of them are in the same room.
Careful there.
Spoilers.
Not too much.
That's all I'm going to say. And I was like, I'm not really into this. I'm like, this is
what?
Not really.
It's not really about that. It's more about like the story of like with Red Hood. Like the Red Hood makes this. I'm surprised you didn't like it. I'm kind of disappointed you didn't like it.
I mean, so what I've got so far is like they're tracking this killer, and they're like, oh well, how is Joker over here when he's been over here the whole time, and now he's over here, and that's find out like the Joker's from history, right? So I don't know. I have it. I read like 90% of the first issue, I think, and I just didn't finish it. So
I loved it. Number two is also amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll probably finish it.
A couple things Invincible related still that I forgot to bring up. There's a really cool Invincible Easter egg in the latest issue of Oblivion Song.
It feels like months ago. It feels long ago.
We didn't even mention we are also the Oblivion Song podcast. If you like Robert Kirkman and Robert Kirkman comic books, definitely check out that podcast as well.
Koba sounds like Bill. It sounds like
is he breathing right now?
It sounds like you're pumping up a tire, like.
Well, he's doing the thing where he's like panting, but he's like slowly doing it, so he's like clicking too. He's like, yeah. Koba, shut up. Go.
What else?
When is the next issue of Oblivion Song?
Next week. This coming Wednesday.
Shoot! Really?
Yep.
That's really exciting. Is this the end of an arc?
Reporting to do. Is this the end of an arc? No, not even close.
Okay.
2 more.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Bill, fucking Redneck returns next week. You read Volume 1 and you loved it, but you stopped. And if you loved Volume 1, good God, please, I keep telling you this since you read the first volume, please continue. Please continue. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That is. I've been saying it since you read it, and you keep saying you will.
Okay.
That's your homework.
All right, that's fair. By Oblivion Song, so by next week.
So by Wednesday, yep.
Okay.
You too, Ryan.
I really need to catch up on Redneck. I haven't read any of it. TV shows, movies.
God, so
there's stuff.
I know there's stuff. I can't think of it honestly. Like, during football season, it's like fucking all I do. It's all I watch. I watch NFL Network. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So that takes up a lot of my time. But I guarantee there's other stuff I've watched. I just cannot think of anything.
I started Hunters on Amazon Prime. The one with Al Pacino, the guy from Percy Jackson, Ted Mosby's in it.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever heard of this?
Is that the Nazi hunting one?
The Nazi Hunters one?
Yeah.
It is. It like the premise of it in the trailer, it's marketed as like a ridiculous show, like crazy, outlandish, but it is insanely emotional. Like it shows flashbacks regularly of what these Jews went through in these concentration camps, and it is fucking terrible. Like it is, and it's not terrible for the sake of being terrible, but it is gut wrenching. Like I'm so glad we live in an era right now where this is not happening, because I couldn't survive it. It's crazy. It's very good. Like if you haven't watched it and you want to watch something new, watch it. Bly Manor comes out Friday. I'll be watching that.
Want to watch that too?
Yeah, the haunting of Bly Manor comes out the day that this episode released. So if you're listening to this, it's out now, and I cannot wait for this. The haunting of
Hill
House was incredible, and just like not just because it was scary, but it was, or like, you know, creepy, but because the story was just amazing. How everything came full circle, and it was awesome. And so I can't wait for season 2, which is a completely different story, kind of like American Horror Story. Haunting of Bly Manor. It's gonna be sick. Can't wait.
Speaking of TV shows, I keep seeing a lot of great stuff about Star Trek Lower Decks, Bill.
I watched like maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes, and it's okay.
Yeah, so
So
people are raving about the finale right now.
Yeah, I haven't like gotten like super into it. They're just kind of like trying to make it a thing, but I don't know. It's okay.
Cool.
It's okay.
All right. I think I just need to go frame by frame on this trailer again. Like I'm sitting here and I'm just scrolling through it and just like freezing it on things, and like Kill Cannon, like just with his arm out and this gun like ramped up, even the blood splatter, like all these like just screenshots. Like we have a ton of screenshots right here, basically.
When we went, because we watched it together, and then Bill, you had to go back to work, and then we were waiting to record, you know, this episode. In between that break, I literally went like grabbed the cursor and went frame by frame, looking at every little thing, trying to catch things, and
man,
I already ripped that shit apart.
All right, so remember, if you want to be a part of the show, you can email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I don't even think I did any of this in the beginning of the show. We were just so excited to get talking about it. We also have theinvinciblepodcast.com. You can find all of the episodes listed on there. Contact us through there. I've got a great little handy reading guide through that. And yeah, we'd love to hear more about what you thought of the trailer. So send it in. We release new episodes on the first Friday of every month, except for this week. We delayed it by a week in order to get this episode put together. And if you're hearing music in the background right now, that would be our outro music done by Wyatt Layne. You can find his music over on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. Wyatt Layne, as you heard earlier, who wrote into the show, does a lot of great music for us here on this podcast. This song is called Trust. So that does it. Thank you guys. This was a ton of fun. Can't wait to go back and watch more. I actually kind of feel like rereading the first volume now. Now I'm seeing some of this stuff. All right. That's it, guys. Have a good night.
Later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
different. You actually are
Invincible!